for the administration to release all of the files regarding Jeffrey Epstein's investigation and prosecution.
Maybe I'm just getting old and forgetting things, but I could have sworn that we had people campaigning, and if I get elected, we're going to release the files, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Release the damn files. Get over it.
It's the administration and their handling of this, which is why everyone's talking about it. It didn't have to be handled this way. It's been abysmal.
I am trying to get you to take the political gun out of your mouth. You already blown both your feet off. And now you got it shoved in your mouth. I'm like, will you please take that out of your mouth? You're like, shut up. Don't talk about it. You have put the gun in your mouth and ours collectively. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh my God, Alex Jones makes my ears bleed, even when he's railing against Trump. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. Okay, Epstein. That has led the news coverage and every headline this week. Honestly, I don't know how much more proof the MAGA heads need, because the clues are very obvious at this point. Donald Trump has shown us exactly who he is for decades. A perverted, leering, and now old man with a fixation for very young ladies, children, including his own daughter. Please check out my recent report on the Katie Johnson story here on the MeidasTouch Network, and I did a deeper dive on my Substack. But behind the Jeffrey Epstein files hysteria, the Trump regime and Republicans are literally gutting our government down to the studs and giving away the spoils to the richest, the wealthiest Americans.
Faced with a barrage of questions over the Epstein files, why can't Donald Trump figure out how to defuse this bomb?
Because Donald Trump doesn't want to. I mean, here's the thing. I just want to acknowledge for everybody who's watching this that we have literally been on like a week and a half distraction from what's really going on in America right now. Donald Trump is gutting the government. They literally just rescinded $9 billion in foreign aid. They're trying to shut down public broadcasting. They're taking Medicare from people, Medicaid from people. And here's where we are, is we're talking about this. We know that Donald Trump doesn't actually care about the victims, about those poor girls who are human trafficked. I think right now we need to be focusing on
facts. Republicans have tried for decades to defund public broadcasting, and for the first time ever, they were able to do it out of fealty for their orange dear leader, despite the fact that these cuts are going to have catastrophic consequences on their own constituents, especially in rural communities where local PBS stations are likely not to survive. Trump also ordered the incineration of 500 metric tons of emergency food that would have fed 1.5 million starving children for a week in Afghanistan and Pakistan. It was literally just sitting around waiting to go and feed these starving kids. In fact, NGOs offered to distribute the food, but nope. Instead of feeding starving children in need, Trump said, no, let's burn it for an additional taxpayer cost. And also a Trump-appointed judge just overturned a Biden-era rule that removed medical debt from our credit reports, which is going to have devastating impact if you're a person like me who has faced any type of serious healthcare crisis. All of this on top of Republicans canceling healthcare for 18 million Americans starting in 2027.
We all know, actually, let me not, say, I think Donald Trump is guilty of a variety of things and hasn't been held accountable for them, period. What his base does and our distraction with that is literally that. What I'm interested in, be it Republican or be it Democrat, is why isn't anybody talking about the fact that if they were so riled up about this Epstein case and getting justice for these victims, why is Donald Trump defunding, literally just completely dismantle the Violence Against Women Act and completely defunded all support for people who have been trafficked, for human trafficking? There's so much that could actually happen that would be with regards to policy that would actually support and protect people that we could be talking about. And right now it just feels more like a political circus that I don't think is going anywhere.
The fact that anyone who actually cares about protecting victims and standing up for them and doing something about sex trafficking
the person who cared the most about doing that was the person they just fired. Maureen Comey, more than anyone else, was somebody who not only, talked the talk of wanting to protect victims, but spent the last decade doing the hard work to do that, not just in the Epstein case, but as we just saw over the last 2 months in the Combs case. This is somebody who's dedicated.
This is the P. Diddy trial.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is somebody who has just dedicated her career to standing up for victims, to doing the work that people are talking about. And the fact that they've fired her while also saying we care about this is just wildly inconsistent.
And keep in mind that this president has spent most of his life trying to avoid accountability for the things that he's done against women.
They're exactly right. They get so riled up over the Epstein files, but this really is an obsession that the MAGA cult has with human trafficking. Is just that. It's an obsession for them, because when it comes down to actual policy to take care of America's, or for that matter, the world's children, nope. Zero fucks given. Republicans have stripped SNAP benefits and school lunches across the board in this nation. They've stripped women of our bodily autonomy. Loss of health care will kill thousands of American kids and women. Trump has stripped our State Department to a shell of its former self. And in doing so, he gutted the Human Trafficking Division. Yes, he has stripped and rolled back the Human Trafficking Division. And as a cherry on top of all of this, Trump is also defunding and rolling back the Violence Against Women Act, which is critical for women who are trying to prosecute sex violence acts against women. And President Biden not only co-authored that when he was vice president, but he reauthorized that act after Trump cut it in his first term. So nobody who cares about women or little girls or human trafficking does all of those things. And the MAGA base has only gotten its tacos in a freaking twist because of the Epstein files. But when it comes down to actually protecting victims, they won't do shit. Pardon my French. My former best friend was always going to human trafficking movies and blah, 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 blah about the Democrat deep state and the elite sex trafficking rings. But she is a triple Trumper. So her money is not where her damn mouth is. She's actually hurt the cause she professes to care so much about by supporting Trump. It is just gross hypocrisy, and the evangelicals supporting him disgust me. But then again, look at how many pastors and church leaders have been arrested for sex assault crimes against children. And the lot of them, the lot of MAGA. Maybe there will be some who will break away from the cult over the brouhaha, over the Epstein files. But most of them, rather than admit they were wrong, just like this meme, will continue to be gaslit and support this sick and evil man. And just, here's the thought. What if we believe the 26 women who came out in 2015 and 2016 and told their stories about how Trump had assaulted them, had sexually assaulted them? There's an idea. What if we actually just believed women and children in this country? Like, how much more proof do you actually need, America, to know that Donald Trump is a serial sexual predator? Huh? I mean, that the fact that Katie Johnson had to go underground in fear for her life, in addition to God knows how many others, we have known who Donald Trump is. We have known. And yet here in the United States, we would rather elect or put a convicted felon and a known sexual predator back into the White House than put a qualified, amazing, brilliant woman in the highest office of power. That's how much we hate women in this country. We really do hate women here. I mean, and yeah, I am frustrated. We don't believe women. We are underpaid. We are consistently stripped of our rights and not believed. And just when there begins to be a little bit of progress made, oh no, none for you. And it's not just in the MAGA world. This is just basically what America is, and it makes me sick to my core. And for the little girls in my family and the little girls I know, because this is not the way that we should be operating in 2025, to be the only first world nation who has never had a woman president. Freaking shame on us. Anyway, a little bit of a rant, but it's righteous anger, and righteous anger is a good thing. And yeah, I am pissed off. In the meantime, we need to stay focused on the work at hand, and that is taking back Congress at all costs. And we need leaders who are not compromised and who are not going to just issue stern statements. We need people who are going to do the dirty work of getting our democracy back. All right? Thanks for watching. Please follow my socials below and join me on Substack. I will see you back here soon. And may peace be with you.
New Midas merch drop! Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.